Welcome back to Across Louisiana. You know, summertime in South Louisiana means one thing, and that's heat. And when you're out in that heat, you have to take steps to take care of yourself and be safe in that. And here to tell us all about that is Dr. Derek Anderson with the Baton Rouge General Sports Medicine Fellowship Program. Welcome to the show, Doc.
Thank you for having me.
Such an important topic, definitely on everyone's mind. I mean, you don't have to go outside long to realize that the heat is definitely a factor. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Well, certainly this time of year, the biggest concern we have is people doing regular activities or higher level activities in the heat. Heat illness is really a spectrum that starts off as something not really significant or a medical emergency and can end up to the level of heat stroke and something that's a very significant health risk or problem. And so just like most things we deal with in family medicine or sports medicine, prevention's the key. And so if you have to be out in the heat, there are certainly some very easy steps you could take to protect yourself.
Let's talk about that a little bit, because I know people hear, you know, the terms heat exhaustion and heat stroke, and I'm not sure everyone understands what the difference is or how they know it might be happening to them.
Right. So heat illness would be the first step. Any of these are a result of losing volume, basically not taking in enough hydration, but at the same time losing electrolytes, which is mainly sodium. And as that process starts, then it'll continue to a heat exhaustion stage, which in simple terms, you can still regulate your body temperature, you still are with it mentally, but you can have a lot of other things going on, the lightheadedness, the dizziness, the muscle aches, the muscle cramps, the shortness of breath. But you're still able to maintain your temperature a little bit. If you don't fix that, then heat stroke is defined when your body temperature basically is above 104 degrees because you've lost your ability to regulate it in a normal range. And heat stroke also comes into play when at that point you don't know what's happening to you because there is some type of central nervous system confusion that usually goes along with it.
Who is most at risk to get any of these heat illnesses, excuse me?
Well, clearly this time of year, athletes would be at risk just as a whole, which is why in sports medicine we may see a lot of it. But for non-athletes, the people at biggest risk, of course, would be children and elderly as far as in the overall patient population.
Well, you mentioned earlier there are, lots of precautions that can be taken to prevent this from happening. So, if you're somebody who knows they're going to be outside, or maybe knows they're going to be doing some physical activity out in that heat, what are some things that you need to plan ahead for to do that safely?
Well, I think even though we're talking more about maybe heat stroke or heat exhaustion, one of the first things is if you don't have to do the activity in the hottest part of the day, I mean, that's probably the best advice anyone could get. Certainly, if you're going out to do the activity worried about heat, then you're going to be in the sun. So while I'm here, we might as well chime in for prevention, and you need to have sunscreen on, minimum kind of SPF or sun protection factor 15. Not so much that's going to help you with heat illness, but that's just kind of good overall preventive medicine. Once you're out in the sun and doing the activity, you have to stay hydrated. And a lot of times people may ask about how much. And so kind of a standard rule might be an 8-ounce cup of some liquid for about every 15 minutes that you're out doing a strenuous activity in the sun. And we talked a little bit about how it is not only fluids but electrolytes. So a lot of people alternate water with Powerade or some type of supplement that has the electrolytes in it.
Fantastic. Dr. Anderson, thanks for coming on and telling everybody how they can stay safe this summer in that heat out there. Appreciate it.
No problem, anytime.
Sure thing.